Welcome to this session on research methodology. Today, we are going to explore one of the most critical ethical concepts in the academic world, plagiarism. Whether you are writing a short essay or publishing a groundbreaking scientific paper, understanding plagiarism is absolutely essential. It is not just about following rules. It is about respecting the hard work of others and maintaining the integrity of your own research. Let us dive in and build a strong foundation on this topic. Now that we know our topic, let us start with a simple analogy. Imagine you spend weeks painting a beautiful portrait, and right before the art show, someone else puts their name on your canvas. You would naturally feel incredibly cheated and angry because your hard work and creativity were stolen. In the world of university studies and scientific research, ideas and written words are exactly like that painting. When someone takes another person's written words, research data, or unique ideas and pretends they created them, they are committing a serious offense. This act of intellectual theft is what we call plagiarism. Building on that analogy, let us look at how universities formally define this offense. In formal academic terms, plagiarism is defined as the unethical practice of appropriating another person's intellectual property, language, thoughts, or original ideas, and presenting them as your own original work. A common misconception is that if you just change a few words here and there, it is no longer plagiarism. However, this is false. If you keep the core idea without giving proper credit, you are still plagiarizing. It is universally considered a severe form of academic dishonesty. Since we now understand what constitutes academic dishonesty, how do we actually avoid it? The answer lies in proper citation. Researchers must use established citation methods, such as APA or MLA formatting, to explicitly acknowledge the original source of any borrowed information. Ultimately, plagiarism undermines the very foundation of academic inquiry. Science relies heavily on honesty, transparency, and building upon the acknowledged work of others. By citing your sources, you are not just following a formatting rule, you are actively participating in the global scientific conversation with integrity. This brings us to an important question. Why are universities so strict about this? Understanding and preventing plagiarism is absolutely critical because it protects the intellectual property rights of hard-working researchers and authors. If researchers knew their discoveries would be stolen without credit, they would simply stop sharing their findings. This would completely halt scientific and social progress. Furthermore, academic institutions rely on original work to accurately assess a student's true capabilities. When plagiarism occurs, it destroys the trust between the student, the teacher, and the broader scientific community. Having established the ethical importance of originality, let us look at how it is actually measured. While plagiarism is fundamentally a qualitative, ethical issue, modern research methodology relies on quantitative software tools to detect it. Universities commonly use programs like Turnitin or Authenticate. These tools scan your document and calculate a specific metric known as the similarity index. This index determines exactly how much of a document matches existing sources on the internet or in academic databases. Understanding how this software works helps demystify how professors evaluate your originality. Now that we know what the software does, let us look at the mathematics behind it. We can express this fundamental calculation using a simple mathematical formula. The formula states that S equals M divided by T all multiplied by 100. Here, S represents the similarity index, which is always expressed as a percentage. The variable M stands for the total number of matched words found in external sources. The variable T represents the total word count of the submitted document. If the number of matched words increases while the total word stays the same, the similarity index will increase, indicating a higher likelihood of plagiarism. Before we move on, let us see this formula in action with a concrete example. A struggling student submits an essay with a total of 800 words. The plagiarism software finds that 240 words are directly copy-pasted from Wikipedia without citations. We need to calculate the similarity index to see if it violates the university's 15% threshold. We set M to 240 and T to 800. Dividing 240 by 800 gives us 0.3. Multiplying by 100 gives a final similarity index of 30%. Since 30 is greater than 15, this essay clearly violates the academic integrity policy. This basic calculation leads us to an important nuance regarding proper citations. Not all matched text is plagiarism. Properly cited quotes are perfectly legal and encouraged in research. Therefore, we must modify our original formula to account for this. The adjusted similarity index, denoted as S sub ag, equals M minus Q divided by T multiplied by 100. The new variable Q represents the number of words that are matched but properly quoted and cited by the author. If the number of properly quoted words increases, the adjusted index will decrease, which rightfully rewards the student for proper citation practices. Let us apply this adjusted formula to a more advanced scenario. A master's student submits a research proposal of 5,000 words. The software flags 1,500 words as matching external sources. However, the professor notices that 700 of those words are properly quoted and cited. We need to find the true percentage of unethical copying. We take the total matches, 1,500, and subtract the 700 properly cited words. This leaves 800 unethically copied words. Dividing 800 by 5,000 gives 0.16. Multiplying by 100 yields a final adjusted similarity index of 16%. Now that we have used this adjusted formula, let us understand the logical reasoning behind it. The software initially just finds all matching text, which we call M. But logically, this total matched text is made up of two parts: text that is unethically plagiarized and text that is properly quoted, which we call Q. To find the true amount of stolen text, we must rearrange this relationship. By subtracting Q from M in the numerator, we are mathematically isolating only the words that were stolen without credit. We then divide this corrected number by the total document length. This proves why human review is essential alongside automated software to protect researchers from false accusations. To visually reinforce what we just learned and proven, let us look at this diagram. On the left, you see a representation of a student's essay. The total length of this document represents our variable T. Inside the essay, you can see blocks of text highlighted in red and green. The red blocks represent unquoted, plagiarized text. The green blocks represent text that is properly quoted and cited. The software initially flags both red and green as matched words, our variable M. The arrows show how these components feed directly into the similarity index formula on the right. This visual perfectly summarizes how the software scans a document and computes the final percentage.
We have covered a lot of ground today, so let us review the key takeaways. First, plagiarism is fundamentally an act of intellectual theft that destroys the integrity of academic research and scientific progress. Second, we learned how this ethical issue is mathematically quantified using the similarity index, and why adjusting for proper citations is crucial for fairness. Finally, always remember that proper citation is your absolute best defense against accidental plagiarism. Mastering this ethical concept ensures that your future research contributions are both honest and highly respected by the global scientific community. You are now well equipped to write with integrity.